Imagine this. You're quietly winning in life, achieving things most people only dream of, and no one even knows how. You're not broadcasting your every move, posting every success, or looking for validation. Instead, you're focused, you're calm. And as you keep progressing, people around you start wondering, how? How did you do it? They'll be asking themselves, but by the time they figure it out, you'll already be miles ahead. This is the power of silence, and it's the key to unlocking a life full of quiet victories. Welcome to Stoic Spark, where we dig deep into Stoicism and uncover how timeless wisdom can guide us toward greatness. Today, we're diving into the concept of winning in silence and leaving the world wondering how you achieved it. But before we go any further, if you're ready to conquer life with stoic resilience, make sure to like this video and comment below with a phrase that empowers you. It could be something like, "In silence I rise," or anything that fuels your inner strength. Let's get started. Number 1. The power of silence in a noisy world. In today's world, we're constantly surrounded by noise. People are talking, sharing their opinions, looking for attention, and that's just on social media. Everyone wants to be seen, to be heard, to be validated. But what if I told you that the greatest power you can wield is to stay quiet? What if your silence could be your greatest weapon in a world that thrives on constant chatter? Here's the truth. Silence is not emptiness, it's strength. It's the ability to hold your ground, to keep your peace, and to stay focused on your path. And this is where Stoic philosophy becomes crucial. The Stoics believed in controlling what you can, and the first thing you can control is your response to the noise around you. In silence you find clarity. You shut out the distractions and reconnect with your purpose. It's in that quiet that the real work is done, the work of mastering yourself, your emotions, your thoughts. When you do this, others begin to notice something. They see the results, but they don't hear the struggle. They see your success, but they don't understand the journey. Now, if this resonates with you, take a moment, like this video and comment with something that represents your silent strength. Something like, "In the quiet, I grow." Let the world hear your empowering thoughts without you even needing to say a word. Number 2. Why people talk too much. Now let's dive into the psychology of why so many people talk too much, especially when it comes to their own successes. It's human nature to seek validation, to feel recognized and admired. But here's the catch. When you're constantly seeking attention through words, you weaken your own power. It's a form of external validation, and that's the very thing Stoicism teaches us to move away from. People talk to fill a void, to prove themselves, to show others they are worthy. But what happens when you're always talking? You distract yourself from the work that actually matters. You divert your energy into convincing others of your value rather than building that value internally. Words, when overused, dilute your true strength. Stoics like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of focusing on the internal, not the external. They knew that the most powerful form of influence comes from your actions, not your words. The less you speak about your efforts, the more impressive your achievements become. True power isn't shouting it from the rooftops, it's moving quietly and steadily toward your goal, while others can only watch in awe as you surpass them. Think about it. If you're constantly talking, you're only giving away your energy. But in silence, you conserve your power. You control the narrative without ever needing to say a word. If you agree with this, like this video and comment with something like, "I am my own validation," because when you understand that, you are no longer swayed by the opinions of others. Number 3. The strength in quiet resilience. Now, let's talk about resilience. True resilience isn't about boasting about how tough you are or talking endlessly about the battles you've fought. It's about staying calm and unwavering when the world expects you to crack. It's about moving through challenges with quiet determination, even when no one is watching. This is where Stoicism truly shines. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, obstacles aren't something to complain about. They are the path to growth. Resilience is born out of the challenges you face in silence, without needing anyone to cheer you on. When things get tough, when the world is falling apart around you, the Stoic doesn't break. They don't yell out for help. They don't need the validation of others. Instead, they dig deep within themselves and persist in silence. Their actions speak louder than any words ever could. This is what makes Stoic resilience so powerful. It's unshakable because it's rooted in self-reliance and inner peace. No matter how much the storm rages around you, your silent strength keeps you grounded. If you've ever faced hardship and come out stronger on the other side, like this video, and comment something that speaks to your inner resilience, like "Silent strength conquers all." When you master the art of silent resilience, you can face anything and keep pushing forward. Number 4, dark psychology and the art of detachment. Now let's dive into something a bit deeper, the idea of detachment and how it relates to dark psychology. In a world obsessed with approval, attention, and recognition, the Stoic practice of detachment becomes a silent superpower. But detachment isn't just about ignoring others or closing yourself off. It's about releasing the need for validation from the outside world and being completely indifferent to the opinions of others. In dark psychology, there's a principle called emotional manipulation. People use emotions to control others, to gain power or leverage. But when you detach yourself from the need for approval, you become impervious to these tactics. You stop playing the emotional games that others try to pull you into. When you're detached, you're free. Free from manipulation, free from the expectations others try to impose on you, and most importantly, free from the internal conflict that comes from needing others to validate your worth. Stoicism teaches us that the only thing you can truly control is your own response to the world around you. When you stop seeking approval, you stop being vulnerable to manipulation. You're no longer a pawn in other people's games. Instead, you become the one pulling the strings of your own life. Your silence becomes your shield. Your actions will speak for themselves, while others wonder how you maintain such control over your life. If this resonates with you, like this video and comment with "I am free from external validation," because when you let go of the need to please others, you unlock the power to shape your own destiny. Number 5, the power of focused action. Let's take a moment to really dig into one of the most crucial aspects of achieving success in silence: focused action. Now, this might sound simple, but it's one of the most overlooked and misunderstood principles in today's world. People often confuse being busy with being productive. We see it every day, people running around, checking off tasks, posting their progress online, seeking attention and validation for every little step they take. But here's the real truth. True success doesn't come from noise. It comes from deliberate, focused action behind the scenes. In a world constantly obsessed with showing off, with broadcasting every moment of success, it's easy to forget that real progress is made quietly. The kind of progress that's sustainable, that leads to deep, lasting success, doesn't require you to flaunt every small victory. In fact, the more you talk about your goals, the less likely you are to accomplish them. Why? Because you're wasting valuable energy on external validation instead of channeling that energy into actual work. This is exactly where Stoicism offers profound wisdom. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus didn't waste their time with outward expressions of power or grandiose gestures. They understood that real power lies in the internal, in staying grounded, in staying focused on the things that are truly within your control. And that is where true action begins. The Stoic perspective on action is centered around the principle of intentionality. This means that you don't act for the sake of being seen or admired. You act because it is aligned with your values, your purpose, and your goals. You do what you do not for the applause, not for the recognition, but because it is necessary for your growth, your progress, and your long-term success. And this is where we must confront one of the biggest distractions of the modern age, the constant pull to be seen and heard. Social media, for example, makes it incredibly easy to get trapped in this cycle of seeking validation. It's all too tempting to post every little milestone, every small win, every thought that pops into your head. But the danger is in the distraction. You're wasting time. Think about it. Every time you stop what you're doing to share something with the world, you're diverting your attention away from the task at hand. Every notification, every like, every comment, it pulls your energy away from your goal, and as you shift your focus toward that external validation, you lose the quiet power that comes with undistracted, focused action. Stoics believed in the power of inner discipline. For them, true greatness wasn't about being famous or recognized. It was about doing the right thing day in and day out, even when no one is watching. Success comes from the quiet work you do when no one else is paying attention. When you take action, not because you want praise or admiration, but because you know it's necessary for your growth, you put yourself in control of your life. Your attention remains where it needs to be, on your task, on your purpose, on your goal. The concept of focused action is intertwined with the Stoic idea of virtue, living in alignment with your highest values, regardless of what others think. Focused action is rooted in virtue. When you act with integrity, when you work tirelessly toward your goals without expecting instant gratification or recognition, you are laying the foundation for lasting success. The Stoic does not need to be recognized for every small effort, because they know that the true reward lies in the work itself. The quiet grind, the hours of preparation, the discipline, the consistency, it's all leading to something greater, even if no one else can see it yet. Think about the lives of some of the most successful and influential figures in history. They didn't shout about their progress every step of the way. Think about Steve Jobs, for instance. He didn't constantly post updates about his work on the iPhone. He didn't tweet every idea that crossed his mind. Instead, he spent years building and refining something that, when it was finally revealed to the world, completely changed the way we live. His success spoke for itself. Now let's look at a more modern example, someone like Elon Musk. While he's known for his public persona, much of his work happens in the background, out of sight from the public eye. He's deeply involved in his companies, constantly thinking, designing, and planning without seeking the constant validation that so many others crave. His quiet, focused action is what has allowed him to create breakthroughs that others couldn't even imagine. He shows us that the most powerful action is the one that doesn't need to be announced. You see, the more you talk about your goals, the more you invite other people's opinions, the more you expose yourself to criticism and doubt. But when you focus quietly on the work, day after day, you move forward without that external noise interfering with your momentum. You remain undistracted, and you build the kind of lasting success that comes from consistent effort and sacrifice. Here's the real trick. When you work in silence, you don't just conserve your energy, you also build mystery. People will wonder how you're doing it. They'll wonder why you're succeeding while they're still stuck in the noise. They'll look at you and ask, how did they do it? The answer will be simple. You didn't waste time talking about it. You just did the work. In the world of dark psychology, there's an important principle. The less you reveal, the more control you have. People who constantly talk about their goals or successes are giving away their power. They're setting themselves up for external judgment and the need for constant approval. But when you're silent about your journey, your actions speak louder than any words ever could. And this is exactly what makes your success even more powerful. You've kept your plans to yourself. You've done the work quietly, and when you finally reveal the results, it's all the more impressive. So, what does this mean for you? It means that you must learn the art of focused, deliberate action. Every step you take should be intentional and purposeful. You must train your mind to block out distractions and to focus solely on what will move you closer to your goal. And remember, it doesn't matter if no one sees the work in the beginning. What matters is that you stay the course, that you continue to push forward despite the noise. The great Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." In other words, the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear of not being recognized, it's all in your mind. Don't let these fears dictate your actions. Instead, let your focused, quiet work speak for itself. And if this resonates with you, take a moment to like this video and comment with something that represents your inner power, like "Focused action leads to success." Remember, the quieter you work, the louder your success will speak. Number 6. Your success will speak for itself. At the end of the day, your success doesn't need to be announced. It will speak for itself. In a world obsessed with self-promotion, the true achievers are the ones who let their results do the talking. Think about it. When you reach the pinnacle of your goals, when you've put in the silent work, others will see it. They'll feel the impact of your success, even if they don't fully understand how you got there. Stoicism teaches us that actions are far more meaningful than words. What you do, not what you say, defines you. And this is where the power of silence becomes even clearer. The more you let your work and results shine on their own, the more impressive and respected you become. You'll notice that people start asking, "How did they do that?" The best part is, you don't have to answer. Your success will answer for you. If you believe in the power of letting your success speak, like this video and comment with "Let success do the talking." When you stop seeking external validation and focus on your journey, the world will take notice. Number 7. Mastering your emotions in the face of doubt. Now, let's talk about something that holds many people back on their journey to success: self-doubt. It's natural to have doubts, especially when you're working in silence, not broadcasting every step. In fact, doubt can be one of the most insidious distractions on the path to greatness. But here's the secret. Mastering your emotions in the face of doubt is one of the most powerful Stoic practices you can adopt. The Stoics understood that emotions, while a natural part of being human, should not govern our actions. Instead, they believed in controlling how we respond to external events, including the doubts and insecurities that arise within us. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." When doubt creeps in, instead of succumbing to it, you can choose to see it as an opportunity. It's a chance for you to deepen your resilience, to strengthen your focus, and to remind yourself that doubt is just a passing thought. It's not a truth. When you work in silence, you often don't get immediate feedback. No applause, no likes, no instant gratification, and that can lead to doubt. You may wonder if your effort is even worth it. But the Stoic mindset teaches us to separate our worth from external results. Instead of feeling discouraged by the absence of recognition, focus on your actions, the process itself. Your worth is not determined by whether or not people acknowledge your efforts. Your worth is in your discipline, your consistency, and your ability to keep going, regardless of the noise around you. When you doubt yourself, remember, this is the moment where true strength is forged. The fact that you keep going, despite the uncertainty, despite the lack of validation, shows a level of inner strength that most people never cultivate. And as you master your emotions, as you continue to act with focused determination, you will start to see the results, even if they take time. But in the silence, you'll find peace. You'll realize that the path itself is just as important as the destination. If you've ever had moments of doubt and pushed through, like this video, and comment with, "Doubt is temporary, resilience is forever," mastering your emotions allows you to keep your focus where it needs to be, on the quiet, steady work that leads to eventual success. Number 8. Let them wonder while you grow. Here's the intriguing part of winning in silence. Let them wonder while you grow. You don't need to explain your process. You don't need to announce your every step. Let people watch from a distance, puzzled by how you're progressing, while they're still caught up in their own noise. This, my friend, is the beauty of quiet growth. Think about it. When you're not revealing your every move, when you don't feel the need to show off or explain yourself, you maintain control over your own narrative. People are going to wonder, and that's exactly what you want. It's human nature to try and understand what others are doing, especially when those people are quietly achieving what others can only dream of. And while they're wondering, you're moving forward, one step at a time, accumulating results that speak for themselves. This is the essence of Stoicism. The Stoic doesn't feel the need to seek approval or attention. Instead, they focus on their path, their actions, and their own progress. They know that their growth will speak for them in the end, and they're okay with that. They don't need to be acknowledged. They don't need to tell everyone their plans. They know that eventually the fruits of their labor will be undeniable. When you focus solely on your journey and keep your efforts quiet, people start to notice your success, not because you've been talking about it, but because it becomes impossible to ignore. You're achieving more than anyone thought possible, and they can't figure out how. Your actions make them question their own path, and that's when they begin to look at you in awe. But here's the trick. While they're wondering how you did it, you keep growing. You keep moving forward quietly, persistently. You remain focused on your goals, and your success becomes inevitable. The more you let them wonder, the more your silent progress becomes your biggest asset. If this resonates with you, like this video and comment with something empowering, like, "I rise in silence," because you understand that while others wonder, you are quietly building your future. Let them wonder. You know exactly what you're doing. And now we've come full circle. You've learned the power of silence, of focused action, and of letting your success speak for itself. You understand that true strength lies in staying grounded, focused, and resilient, especially when the world is full of distractions. Your success, built in silence, will leave others wondering how you achieved it, but that's okay. You don't need to explain. You've already done the work. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final thought. The world rewards those who are willing to stay silent and put in the work, who aren't chasing approval, but instead chase progress. You don't need to tell anyone your plans. You don't need to boast or seek applause. The results will speak for themselves. If you found value in this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can continue receiving empowering Stoic wisdom here at Stoic Spark. Remember, the quiet path to success is the most powerful one. So, keep moving in silence, keep working hard, and let your success leave them wondering how you did it. Now, I want to hear from you. Comment below with a phrase that empowers you, something that motivates you to keep going, even when no one else is watching. Let's inspire each other to continue on this silent path of growth and resilience. Thank you for being here today, and until next time, remember, in silence, you rise.